Hello and welcome to a very special blaster showcase video for the channel. My name is Luke Triton and today we are covering the Small Soldiers SuperTech 9000 and the Small Soldiers SuperTech 500. So these are very old blasters made by a company called Lorami, and this was mainly done in promotion for the Small Soldiers movie. Now these are blasters that are very interesting, especially to have in my collection, and there's one hell of a story with these. So here is the story as to how I acquired these blasters. If you want to focus more on the blasters themselves, then you will have to skip forward in the video by a couple of minutes. But here's how I came into possession of these two incredibly rare blasters. So a few months ago, Walcom S7, my favourite Nerf YouTuber, uploaded a video showcasing these two particular blasters with Luchathor. And it was one of those cool videos where it was basically a Nerf history lesson. These were blasters that I suppose he was able to get a hold of for the first time, had a bit of fun with them, amazingly had the darts that these blasters fire, something I'm never going to have. But it was a really cool video just to learn what came before what we have today, basically. It was like a very special episode of Tag Back. About early December or so, I go onto eBay and I just type in Nerf just to see what's up. This is something I do every now and then, just to see what people are selling. I always sort this by ending soonest, because I feel like there are some amazing deals that some people miss. But in particular, what I did this time around was I went to one of the eBay stores that I've bought a couple of things from in the past. And this is a seller I properly trust. When he says something's in good condition, it's in good condition. He's properly good at looking after these toys. I go onto his store and I see these two blasters listed, both separately, but I think, hang on a minute, is it really those blasters? Because they're ringing a bell, is it really them? So I take screenshots of the listings and I go onto a couple of Nerf Discord servers and I say, I remember watching a video from Walcom. Is it really these blasters? Like, is it these ones? Are these the crazy rare blasters that, that were mentioned a moment ago? And I get a number of replies saying, yes, that's them. Oh my god, these blasters are on eBay for a crazy cheap price. And what was really funny was, in Walcom's video, he said that these blasters were going for crazy money. Nowadays, if you wanted to get yourself a 9000, you would have to fork out between 100 and 150 or so pounds. And if you wanted the 500, it would be about 50 to 60 pounds. So the eBay listings are going off, and it's getting towards mid-December, and it was getting quite exciting because there was about 4 days left on the listings when I found them, and there was next to nobody bidding on them. I thought, okay, the only people bidding on these two blasters will be people who know what these are. So I think to myself, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a maximum bid in for both of these blasters, about £60 each. If I get outbid, I get outbid. There's no way I'm going to win these blasters, let alone for cheap. So the 4 days go by, and I'm at work when the listings end, and I look at my phone and I get the notification that says, congratulations, you've won. Both listings ended within 2 minutes apart of each other, and I go to check what the ultimate price was. There was only one other person really bidding against me, but even then, that person who was bidding against me was in the Nerf Discord server, and he backed down to let me get it at an amazing price. So just as a quick refresher, people have paid over 100, maybe £150 for the SuperTech 9000, and people have paid about £50 or such for the SuperTech 500. But these are because these are rare, yet kind of desirable blasters. In order for something to be expensive, is for something to be rare and actually be desirable. That's what drives up the price. That's what drives up the value. I paid £20 and £10. It was bargain of the century, and I could not believe my luck. So these are going to be looked after. I'm going to make a special box of them somehow. I'm going to have to get some cardboard, a bit of foam, some bubble wrap or something to really look after these blasters. This is not something I would have in my collection at all because, I'm not really much of a modder. I don't want to modify these blasters either because, again, the darts these fire are very specific darts that I don't think anybody in the world actually has. Again, Walcom has one. I think somebody in Germany, according to the eBay seller, apparently somebody in Germany has a sealed pack of darts. Yeah, I'm never going to get them. I have tried modifying a Mega Dart and an Ultra Dart to fire out of these. Sadly, there's been no success there. But I'm just amazed that I now have these two gemstones, these two rare blasters in my collection. And now for the blaster overview, starting off with the SuperTech 9000. This is a single-shot air tank blaster. So you can see the big old air tank up here. If I turn it around, you can see the pretty cool Small Soldiers sticker. I don't know if it was this blaster or the... Yeah, it seems to be the SuperTech 500 that I've got, that the sticker was a bit, not so much damaged, but like a little bit ripped, like someone tried to peel it off, for example. But overall, the blaster is pretty cool looking. I mean, look at this. It's a very interesting take of like a blow gun, sort of dart gun, sniper rifle thing. Again, it looks definitely like a blaster that a toy soldier would have. But like, I don't know what it is. The shape is really cool. Maybe it's the camo that makes it stand out even more, but it's it is a really cool looking blaster. So the idea of this, again, it has an air tank, and this is the pump. You would get your one Lorraine dart, which I don't have. You would put it in the front here. You would pump it with the pump here about 8 or so times, and then you would fire. The pump feels fine. I mean, you can definitely feel the pressure building up. And when you pull the trigger, it feels like a 2-stage trigger, but I don't know if that's because this is now old, or if the darts I tried to modify to fit into the barrel just won't fire. So when you pull the trigger, that's not it. There's a secondary sort of click there, right at the end. You kind of have to really squeeze your finger to get that to work. And I suppose that's what activates the air tank to fire the darts. So all in all, it's, again, a standard simple process. But my goodness, it's... Again, I really don't know what makes it so cool. Just all of these elements of the overall shape, the camo, the scope as well looks really cool. It's something you can look through, but it's a tight, like, that is the hole. You can actually smash your cheek against this and look through it. I think one thing that's really cool is that these actually turn. They don't do anything. It's a bit squeaky as well because, you know, this is an ancient toy. But it's just, maybe it's also because I know how rare this blaster is now, and I can actually treasure this properly. It's just all these cool elements combined to make something that is just really cool and desirable. It is desirable. I understand it now I've got this in my hands. I wonder if I can get this to work. Aha! I've not tried that before. Very good for the first time. So this is the SuperTech 500. And this is not a bad pistol blaster either. Obviously, none of these two blasters are practical for any kind of Nerf war nowadays. But overall, it's still a very cool looking blaster. Same crazy long scope, tiny little air tank here, single dart in the chamber up front, and the pump. Now the pump on this blaster feels a bit stranger. If I try and get a bit closer, because you probably just heard it there. Ooh, there's a bit of a wheeze, you know, and you're supposed to pump this 8 times. I don't want to pump it too hard because it feels like, not that it's going to break, but it feels like it's just wrong to pump this so fast, you know. I can't really go any faster than that to begin with. So just like the other blaster, there is a bit of a 2-stage trigger where you have to really squeeze the trigger all the way down to actually fire. That doesn't really do anything. That click there is what supposedly fires the darts. And just like I mentioned a moment ago, that's the sticker bit there that seems a bit damaged. Again, that's the only sort of problem I have with this blaster. It's not pristine in the sense that there are no marks, there are no nicks anywhere, there's nothing on the blaster that would prevent it from taking any kind of damage in the first place. But it's just amazing to see one in this condition to begin with. In the UK! This is something I've been going on about forever. Nerf blasters in the UK are quite rare enough as it is. Not everything gets shipped over here. But somehow, some crazy way, someone was able to get a hold of these and sold them on eBay UK. And I have it. That's just the coolest thing ever. So yeah, it's very, very similar as to how the SuperTech 9000 functions. So let's see both blasters together. So normally at the end of a review video, I give my purchase recommendation. But the thing is, this isn't a review. This is more of a special showcase. And how am I supposed to give a purchase recommendation for these two blasters? So, if anything, if you are super, super hardcore into the hobby and you want to have literally one of every blaster that ever existed, basically if you're a Volcom, then you can go for something like this. But you have to be specifically interested in these blasters to begin with. There are other people out there who have these blasters and are looking after them. It's interesting how I got these in the first place, solely because they were crazy, crazy cheap. Literally, this is bargain of the century for me when it comes to this hobby. So trying to come up with a satisfying conclusion for this video is actually quite difficult because these are what they are. These are incredibly rare blasters. I'm going to be putting these in a box to be treasured for a good long amount of time. it's just satisfying and incredible that I have these to begin with, because again, seeing these on UK eBay was rare enough as is. There's a multiverse timeline out there where I miss those listings altogether. And yeah, it's just so bizarre to be in this particular situation. So yeah, if anything, this is just a history lesson. These two blasters are incredibly rare, and the fact that I got these, especially for the price that I did, is one of the best things ever for me. I saved myself a fortune, but the only things you can really do with these blasters is modify them to fire modern darts, which is something I'm never going to do. I don't want to touch these at all in that sort of way. I want to keep these clean, I want to look after these. And the other thing you do with these is sell them on for profit, but I'm not going to be doing that either. And that is the end of the video. Thank you all ever so much for watching. In the description you can find a link to my Discord server where you can chat with like-minded fans of LEGO trains and Nerf blasters. Also links below is my Flickr page and my Instagram page if you want to see some sneak peeks and behind the scenes action. Keep an eye out on my community tab for polls and updates. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.